What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're going to talk about the best back-to-school budget smartphones to get. And we have such a good selection. This is like one of the fastest growing categories in technology, is like budget smartphones that are really, really good. And I'm going to give you 4 of my favorite right now. I'll give you the list right now, and then we'll dive deeper into each one individually. So we're going to talk about the iPhone SE2, also known as the iPhone SE 2020, the TCL 10L and TCL 10 Pro, and then lastly, the Pixel 4a. Let's jump into the most inexpensive one first. It goes for $249. That's right, a $249 smartphone, and it's from TCL. It's called the 10L. Just like all the other phones I'm going to talk about today, the TCL 10L is an unlocked phone, meaning that it's not going to have any carrier bloatware on there in terms of apps that you don't want or anything like that. But this one specifically, the TCL 10L and the TCL 10 Pro, only work on GSM networks, meaning they'll only work on AT&T and T-Mobile networks. They will not work on Verizon or Sprint. So the TCL 10 Pro is a 6.53-inch Full HD LCD display. So it's a big boy phone. It has a flat display, which I absolutely love. So watching videos or consuming social media content on this is a beautiful thing, because this display is very crisp and it gets fairly bright as well. It's a great display, and you would think it wouldn't be for $249, but it definitely is. It also is promised to get at least the Android 11 update, which is going to be the newest one coming out later this fall. No timetable on when it will officially get it, but it will get it. It does come with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 processor and 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage with micro SD card support. So processor wise, it's not a super high performer. Don't expect to play high-end games on this or anything, but day-to-day usage should be fairly smooth with a couple hiccups here and there in terms of performance, but generally overall it's going to be a pretty good performer. The software on the TCL 10L is very, very good. It's actually one of my favorite skins on top of Android, meaning that there's a lot of customization built into this phone to really customize it to the way you want and do a lot of different things on here. It's easy to change the wallpaper, obviously, and ringtones and things like that, but just overall, a great amount of features make this phone at $249 a crazy, crazy buy. Cameras are decent. There's a bunch of cameras on the back. You can get an ultra wide angle on there to capture like that GoPro type footage and things like that. To me, the TCL phones aren't the best on this list in terms of cameras, but they're definitely passable. If you want a more premium feeling, performing, and overall better phone with a slightly higher price but the same software experience as the TCL 10L, then get the TCL 10 Pro at $449. It has a slightly faster processor inside with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 675, 6 gigabytes of RAM again, and 128 gigabytes of storage. The display is a 6.47 Full HD Plus curved AMOLED display, so the colors are going to be brighter, richer, and darker on this display. It also has a premium build, more so than the 10L, because the 10L is made of plastic. This one is made of metal. It even has an IR blaster, so if you want to control your air conditioner, your ceiling fan, or your TV and other devices, you will be able to just with this phone itself. It also has slightly better cameras than the 10L, and again, you will get an internal storage if you want to use micro SD card to add very inexpensive storage to this phone. And like I said in the beginning, I did find this phone to be smoother and more premium feeling than the 10L, but if you don't want to spend as much, obviously get the 10L, but if you want a slightly better, more premium experience, definitely get the 10 Pro. The next phone on our list kind of surprises me that Apple actually put this out. It's the iPhone SE2, also known as the iPhone SE 2020. The reason being, it has an A13 processor, the same processor that's in the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max. And this phone only goes for $399. Now this phone models itself body-wise after the iPhone 7, and you'll see that just with its materials and the look of the phone overall. So you're still gonna feel a premium feel to this phone with an old school home button like you would on the older iPhones, versus on the newer iPhones you have a swipe up gesture and you don't have that on this one. But still, this phone is definitely the fastest, smoothest experience on all 4 of these phones in this list. Also, if you're a big gamer, you're definitely gonna wanna get the iPhone SE2. It offers the best gaming experience because it has the most powerful processor in this list. It also has a great selection of games and apps with the iOS App Store. It also has the smallest display of phones in this list with only a 4.7-inch display. So if you have trouble seeing the screen, you're definitely not going to want to get this phone because everything on this phone is going to be very, very small. Have it be reading websites, social media, watching videos. Very, very small display. But that also means it's very comfortable to hold in your hand. It's very lightweight. You'll also be able to use iMessage and FaceTime, which are extremely popular. The camera on the back is a 12 megapixel single sensor with advanced image processing. So you can get some pretty nice photos with this. Not as nice as something from an iPhone 11, but they still come out pretty good. And video, again, is very good with this phone as well. Base storage on this phone is only 64 gigabytes of storage on the $399 model, and there's no SD card support, so you won't be able to add any of your own. So if you want more storage, you're gonna have to pay for it with a different model. The last great thing about this phone is it works with all carriers, no matter which carrier, GSM or Verizon or Sprint, it will work with all 4 major carriers here in the United States. And our last phone on this list is the Google Pixel 4a at only $349. If you're a person that loves to take photographs, this is the phone to get on this list. The Pixel 4a comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730 processor and 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of onboard storage. So performance on this will be pretty good. It's definitely better than the TCL phones, but not as good as the iPhone SE2. But still, you'll be able to do some light gaming on this, and you'll also be able to just fly through the operating system to do whatever you want, and just running apps, again, is pretty smooth as well. I would give this the second best performer on this list. The display is very, very nice. It's a 5.8-inch Full HD Plus OLED display. So it's better than the iPhones, and it goes right up there against the TCL displays as well. It doesn't get as bright as the TCL phones, the TCL 10 Pro, but it definitely gets fairly bright if you put it up there to about 80%. Like I mentioned earlier, if you love taking photographs, the Pixel 4a is an excellent phone to get. You can get great portrait photos of friends and family. You can get nature photos. You can get great videos as well. Video's not as great as the photos on here, but regardless, it's still a very, very solid camera overall, especially for only $349, and it definitely competes with $1,000 phones at that. It also offers a very minimalistic Android experience, which is great for some people, but you still have the ability to customize as much as you want for the most part by changing icons and wallpapers and things like that. And it does have some small tweaks as well in the settings to make it a little bit more customizable than an iPhone. And just like the iPhone SE2, it is compatible with all 4 major carriers here in the United States. So there you guys go. Those are my best budget smartphones for going back to school. A little mixture of everything. If you want something extremely inexpensive, get the TCL 10L for only $249. Or if you want a slightly better experience in that TCL software and cameras and all of that, get the TCL 10 Pro for $449. Or if you want the best camera overall with photos, get the Pixel 4a. Or if you want the best performer and gamer overall, get the iPhone SE 2020. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what your favorite budget phone is thus far for back to school, and I'll see you guys down the road.